Okay, so in order to close the gap between what happens at the end of sugar loading and the number of days until harvest, there is one more fruit index that we can analyze. And again, just like we did with nitrogen testing, the idea relies upon monitoring kinetics, so time trajectories, by coming again and again on the very same grapes as the season unfolds. So what I'm going to share with you now is the results of anthocyanin content at the surface of the berry, but using a physical method as opposed to wet chemistry. So the physical method simply relies on a physical process called fluorescence that helps us just teasing apart the signature of anthocyanin, and in turn we can translate that into surface concentration of anthocyanin. And so then we will look at the relationship in terms of timing between when sugar stops accumulating and when color reaches its peak. So this is what you see here. In gray, 2018 shows that on average, the peak of color was reached towards the end of September for all the Cabernet Sauvignon sites. So what you have to imagine is that this is an average of many, many different sites whose time profile have been analyzed. To answer the first question regarding Martin Lucher, you see in blue, the person asking the question said that sugar loading was reached in end of August, August 30th. And you see that color accumulation was reached in Napa around the night of September. So there is a delay. And what we are very interested in is understanding the duration of this delay and how it shifts from one year to the next. But not only the timing is interesting, it's also interesting to see the potential in physical accumulation of anthocyanin into the skin. And you can see that in, this is the date of, I didn't show the value, but the value in 2018 were slightly higher as well. What you can see here is that, again, the same pattern in terms of when the peak color is reached is even more accentuated with Merlot. Since last year, we reached the peak color around September 4, and then it was only a color degradation from that day on, whereas here on average, it was after September 20th. So that's what I summarized in this slide. In green, you see the duration of period 3. During period 3, we have all the processes relating the impact of environmental stresses to the fruit molecular chemistry. During the period orange, you see these active sugar loading accumulations, so focusing on primary metabolites. And the teeny bit after that is the number of days that we needed to observe until we reach the peak of color. You see that in 2016, the number of days needed to go from the end of sugar loading to the end of color accumulation was shorter, only 23 days, as opposed to 17 and 18, where it took 29 days. It highlights what has been in the literature for a while, that there is a decoupling, a lack of concomitancy between sugar accumulation and color accumulation. And the time gap between D+0 day and peak color day is temperature dependent, it's water stress dependent, it's nitrogen dependent, so it's super complex. The best thing we can do is start collecting all those numbers to understand how we can reveal cause-consequence relationships. What's very striking to me in 2018 is that what we observe is simply a shift of this 29 days duration period under lower temperature, shorter day length, and this is very favorable to the maintaining not only of the berry volume, but also of the color potential. So this explains why the physical concentration of the berry skin could be led up until later in 2018 without the risk of degradation, while all the berries reach their maximal color potential. So what is unique about 2018 Well, we observe something that climate change scenario does not really predict. Because wherever you read the relationship between temperature changes and plant response, phenology, timing of bloom, timing of veraison, the opposite of what we've seen in 17 and 18 is expected to happen. That is, to go back, an earlier date of D+0 and an earlier date of peak color. But we observe exactly the opposite, a delay and an extension of that time period needed to reach color accumulation in 17 and in 18. So two different reasons led to those outlier years. In 2017, it was an excess of vapor pressure deficit and heat waves. The high vapor pressure deficit had slowed down the sugar accumulation curves and even hastened the degradation of color. In 2018, we observed a delay in veraison, in D+0, in peak color, but not at all for the strength of atmospheric water deficit. It was the lack of plant water deficit that led to the same effect of delaying D+0 and delaying the peak color. And in that sense, 2018 may stand up as a very unique vintage, not compared to what we've seen in the past, but compared to what we expect to see in the future. As everybody's talk has highlighted, those were good conditions for maturity, which translates in much more freedom for winemakers to pick and choose their harvest date. So in other words, this year will bear a strong footprint of winemaker decision in terms of selecting the date. It's not always like that. Other vintages are less conducive to wait until the completion of the ripeness happened. This year was exceptional in the sense that everywhere we could reach that. It's therefore interesting when we're going to taste the 2018 wines to pay attention to how the stylistic choices in terms of harvest date decision affected aromatic profile, tannin reactivity, or color stabilization. So the take home, before I invite Federico and the panel, nitrogen, very unique of 2018, a combination of no early water deficit with low nitrogen. Another thing, the effect of nitrogen deficit on sugar accumulation speed is not there. You could have expected that less nitrogen would have meant less ability to bring sugar from the leaves into the fruit, but not. It does not happen. That means that in spite of having less nitrogen, the photosynthetic activity was not negatively affected. However, Pierre has shown that those conditions should have an effect on aroma precursors. So it will be very interesting if you have them to look at your nitrogen numbers during period 3 and compare them with the wine aromatic profile. Water deficit index, it's easy. No stress during period 3, no stress during period 4, no stress during period 5. So those conditions are exceptional considering climate change scenario. Berry volume, what is the peak value and what is the susceptibility to berry volume loss? Well, the combination of vegetative development that was vigorous combined with an absence of early water deficit led to greater berry volume and greater amount of sugar per berry, as Cecilia shown. High water supply, low water stress during period 4, smooth ripening condition until reaching D+0, even if that stage has been reached later than usual. Then, during period 5, the combination of low water stress plus low vapor pressure deficit helped maintaining berry maximum volume to its value even long 29 days after the peak sugar had been reached, and it reduced the susceptibility to berry volume loss. Bear in mind that there might be important local variation of vapor pressure deficit due to the topography, due to air masses movement. Last slide, the timing of ripening. Well, peak color is reached later. It's the latest we've seen over the last 3 years. 29 days of lag between the end of sugar loading and the end of color accumulation. Not only that, but also the whole process has been shifted 8 days compared to 2017. So this is interesting because you see that fruit is catching up. I was talking at the end of period 3 of 4 to 5 weeks of delay between KCB max being reached in 17 versus 2018. You see that with the passing of time, this very large difference reflected by the vegetative look of the plant has been narrowed down. In other words, the fruits are catching up. And this is very interesting to put in perspective with the talk that Deluc from Oregon had given here in 2014. In a berry, when you see the cluster, the laggers, the berries that he called laggers because they are lagging in terms of accumulating sugar, are catching up. So it's expected to see early season a very large gap, which acts as a little bit as a magnifier lens for the effect that you will see on ripening. So 4 to 5 weeks of delay in KCB max translated into 1 week of delay in fruit. So with that, the questions now to ask is how can we fine-tune our ability to use data to be even better at selecting harvest date. So for that, I'm going to introduce Professor Casassa and the panel. And just to put in context, wine profile has happened under favorable conditions, but how can we modify how favorable those conditions are? And how can fruit polyphenol analysis help fine-tuning harvest decision? Well, there is a hot debate going on. There are classically 3 schools of thoughts, and then Federico will take on. And they are sometimes contradicting each other. So you have the school of thoughts that says that color extractability relates to drought intensity during period 3, so pre-veraison, and also to lesser extent period 4, via its effect on skin cell walls. So what the Australians have shown is that the very constitution of the cell walls depend during period 3 of the amount of stress. So different types of polysaccharides will be incorporated into the skin wall as a response of the water deficit. The speed of color accumulation profile has also been said to be related to the speed of skin extraction kinetics. Then the second school of thoughts suggests that 2/3 of total skin color will be extracted regardless. It's just a matter of the timing of extraction during maceration that may changes from situation to situation. And then the last school of thoughts is that wine color stability will be heavily dependent upon the type of tannins that you have in your wine. The idea being that if you have a greater proportion of drier tannin, the susceptibility to wine color stability will be heightened. So I don't know the answer to those questions, but I thought that it could be nice to invite Federico to share with us his finding and then to moderate the panel with the experts on that topic.